It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Tim
and LJ. Today and every week we will be discussing musicals, but specifically what they taught us.
We're back.
We are back indeed.
Dolly, you'll never go away again. Sorry, I just had to throw it in there.
We're getting closer and closer.
I know, I don't know if I said on the pod yet.
No.
Okay, very excited, people. We have obviously had a 2-week break, and in those 2 weeks there's been an awful lot that has been accomplished.
A lot.
One of which is we actually have booked our tickets. We're going to London, baby.
The pod is going to London.
The pod is going to the West End for a very exciting episode that will be coming up soon, but we're telling you nada. We're telling you nothing more about it, but it is exciting. We will be recording live from within a West End theatre. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first exciting thing. The second exciting thing is somebody, me, might have booked their tickets to go and see Imelda Staunton do her best Dolly Levi that I think the world is ever going to have seen.
Have you seen little snippets?
I've seen the curtain call.
Yeah, that's all I've seen too.
Oh my, and some of the production shots, and I am already salivating. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
She will be phenomenal, and I've also already read what you normally read about Imelda Staunton when she appears in a musical, how she creates a standing ovation in the middle of the show. So I've already heard that also seems to be happening in the London Palladium at the moment with her Dolly interpretation. So I'm very, very excited. Have you booked a second show yet?
So this is what I need to check with you for. So we are going to go and see Back to the Future.
Amazing.
But I have been as if I have never been to the theatre before. I am stressing over these seats about where to sit. I have read reviews about if you sit in this place, then it's not too good. If you sit in this place, you'll not catch it all. I mean, I want it to be a really good experience for Aaron, so... I've
seen it 4 times, and I think all 4 times I've sat in the stalls. Bearing in mind one of those times was the very back row of the stalls.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, none of the seats that I sat in the stalls affected the show in that way, in that it wasn't a good seat.
Okay.
I just can't give you what it's like from on high.
Yeah.
Like I would say if you could get Grand Circle tickets, which have been naughty and I've got from Hello Dolly, you obviously will have a great view. I don't know from any higher than that, but I certainly know the experience wasn't adversely affected because I sat in stalls for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I think I've found really good seats, but then I went to purchase and then I was like, oh, I'm not sure. I don't want to, spend this money. And then Aaron be like, it was a great show, but I couldn't say anything.
Yeah. No, because I don't think the Adelphi's an overly deep theatre.
No, it's not.
It's quite intimate, I think.
Yeah, no, do you know the way in the Opera House we've got the seats underneath the Grand Circle?
Yeah.
I don't think they go as far back as that.
I don't think so either. Because as I said, the time we went over for Adam's stag do to London, we went to see Back to the Future and we were in the back row of the stalls and it was great. You could see everything you needed to see.
Okay, well, I might just... That is the second show that we're going to go and see.
Yeah.
The tickets have not been purchased.
Okay.
Yet.
Yeah. No, go and see it.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%.
Because I know EP Aaron will also love it.
Yeah, I think I think he'll kick himself if we're in London and don't see it. So.
And we're not telling you the other show that we're going to see together.
Just 3 of us out of our 4 party, but one's very happy to be reading a book.
Is he just going to go and settle at the bar somewhere with a book?
Yeah, I think he's just as much as we love our children, I think he's very excited about being in a hotel room by himself.
And not having to be dad.
And not have to be
for
dad.
a couple of days.
And just read a book.
Yeah.
Like, without anybody asking him why he's got a highlighter and a notebook, beside this book that he's reading,
Yeah. Cool. That'll be good.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. The other final exciting piece of news before we get on to our musical for this week is we are sitting in a different location. Mm-hmm. Lauren, what has happened over the 2 weeks where we took a wee break?
I moved house.
We are now in our Musical Lyrical Lingo home.
I know. Now, whether we are in the exact room that a Musical Lyrical Lingo will always take part in, I'm not sure, but we are definitely in its new home, because I had these visions of having like playbills and but right now we're currently sitting in the main living room.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure Aaron would really like
not
the
in the main
walls
living room
to be
but
decorated.
I do like your playbill idea.
Yeah. So that's what I still want. I just need to figure out which of the rooms that's happening in.
And also, in the priorities that you have, having moved into a new house, that is surely way down the list, okay? Don't be working on your playbill room until you've got other more important things sorted.
I mean, this is a world famous pod. I think it does need to have some sort of priority.
This is the reason why I've just said what I've said to you, because I'm like, that will be up there at the top of Lauren's priorities, and it's not.
But yes, we had to take some time off because I could not see anything over boxes and furniture.
I take my hat off to you. Like, actually, I think I would just avoid moving house now just for the sheer upheaval of it all.
It's not fun.
No.
I don't know how people
get
do it in one day. Like, we did it over a period of time and it was still very stressful those last few hours to be like, we need to exit this old house. Like, no. I know. Not doing it ever again.
Well, you've lived to tell the tale, so well done.
Thank you.
Nobody, EP Aaron, although he's not sitting in on recording, he is shirking his duties a little bit. Why are we taking him to London?
I know. I mean, I also am wondering why he's not here.
Well, he hasn't sat in the last couple. Not that I'm taking note. I mean, he takes notes on us when he's about, but
he should actually be here for this one. I think we've just missed him.
But he is actually alive. You haven't killed him in the moving process.
No, he's around. And you were here the very first night we moved in.
I was.
You're back here. And there's a wee bit of a difference. You've noticed that we've actually
1,000%,
moved out of boxes. So that,
Oh no, there
happy.
is definitely progress, folks. Definitely progress.
That's good. I like that.
Listen, well done. You've lived to survive and tell the tale. And we are hopefully going to have a little bit of therapy today. Yeah. You don't need to worry about boxes or what's going where.
Exactly. This is actually, and I did explain this when the kids were like, how long will you be recording for? And I was like, do not ask me.
All day.
Because it is my time. I have been moving furniture and boxes and stuff all week. I would just like some time to be. And like, my kids are very good. They're very
amazing.
good.
Well, I've just said to you, I've said, where are the kids today? Bearing in mind, I've probably been in this house for about 3 hours and we're only recording now. And Lauren's like, they're upstairs. I'm like, I didn't even know anyone else was in the house.
I know, they are very good.
They're very good kids.
So, yes. But this is nice just to do something that is for me.
We're moving house.
Yeah.
We're getting away.
New cast was just announced
I noticed that. Yeah. Very good.
Still pretty much the same names, though.
It is similar, isn't it? Yeah. It's for a UK tour, obviously, isn't it? Yeah. Very good. Excellent. The UK Chitty Chitty Bang Bang tour hasn't had a great time recently, has it?
It hasn't. The car has malfunctioned.
Well, I don't think I think the car got injured in transportation.
Yeah.
I don't think it was maybe the car's fault.
No.
I'm like, whose heads are going to roll for that one? They've had
Especially
to cancel.
for the length of time.
Yeah, what is it? The last 2-3 venues they've had to cancel?
Last 2 venues, yep. And then it's going to be in Belfast next week.
Yeah.
But it was meant to be there for 2 full weeks and now it's only
a full week and 2 days. Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least they've maybe fixed out Chitty Chitty.
Yeah.
I'd have been throwing it in the dump.
We all know how you feel about Chitty.
In the trash. Anyway, moving on. Very exciting. We're back.
We are.
And we're talking musical theatre, people.
Our favourite thing.
Yeah, hopefully you didn't miss us too much. But you know what? Our 2-week hiatus will have given you plenty of time to go back and listen to previous episodes, do a bit of catching up.
Yep.
Hopefully, maybe you've all now listened to our top 10 pods.
Yeah, that was a great episode, wasn't
it was fantastic. And also our Creative Academy.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Behind the Scenes Creative Academy podcast 2. No excuses now,
No.
listeners. You've had plenty of time. And if you have listened to them, please give us a wee like.
Yep.
Or a wee share. Or a wee review. That would be really lovely.
We would love you for it.
Yes, that would be great.
Thank you.
Anyway, on to today.
Yeah, so this is a musical that we today have talked a lot about. And shall we explain?
Today already, yeah. So we've already we the reason I've been in Lauren's house is because we were interviewing. We had some really special guests. As I've said in the episode, it was an episode that I was really looking forward to, and it certainly has lived up to its hype in my head anyway.
Yeah. And it's not just one episode, it's 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was so long, and we have multiple guests that we will split that over 2 weeks, isn't that right?
Yeah.
So that'll be next week's podcast and the week after that.
Yeah.
But the musical we're talking about today, they both have a really close connection to.
Yeah.
And it might, anybody who maybe knows us and maybe knows them might guess who our guests are next week when we declare what the musical is that we're talking about. So obviously we will talk about what we've learned from this musical this week, and then next week you can hear about their experiences and their journey and what they've learned from it also.
Yeah.
And that musical would be
Once,
exactly. Once, which started its life as a low budget movie with actually a new approach to musicals, I kind of feel. Yeah.
Yep.
It then transferred from having been that low budget movie, which did extremely well.
Won an Oscar.
It transferred to the stage.
It did.
The question is, when is a musical not a musical?
Whoa. What do you mean?
Because I kind of feel
That the film is a musical?
No, as films go, yes, it is a movie musical film, but it doesn't have that same feel to lots of other movie musicals.
Yeah.
Because I think the element of music is so intertwined in the storyline and the plot. It's like, is this a musical or is this just part of the story? Like, is it a play with music or is it a musical? Now, they would, it was merchandised and it was sold as once a new musical.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I kind of thought that's a really interesting question to ask. Like, with regards to this, maybe as our example or our performer for the week, like, when is a musical not a musical? Haha, I've stumped her. It's a good question.
It is. And I suppose it has a lot to do with the amount of music that would be in it. So if it was...
The music to, like, plot ratio.
Yeah. I think that's maybe an indicator.
What's a healthy musical music to plot ratio?
Just have... But I mean, like...
Sung through. No, I do like a wee bit. I do like some scene work in my musicals.
No. I like scene work too. Yeah. I'm not as many sung through musicals as I do. I do like there to be broken. I like when people do burst into song. I do like that part of musicals.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, there's plenty of films like like Scott Pilgrim, and it has a song in it, but that's not a musical. Like, it's a band.
Okay, yeah.
There's like other really random like 90s movies, which like 10 Things I Hate About You has a band play a couple of songs in it, but that's not a musical, and it's not a musical film. So I think it does have to come down to that ratio.
I think so. I just think it's quite interesting because obviously the plot. The music is so important to it, but does that mean that the film was a musical movie? Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the story was about the relationship between an Irish busker called Guy, like just any guy, and a Czech pianist-songwriter called Girl, who just happened to bump into each other one day on Grafton Street in Dublin. So it's set now in the dub.
It is. It is indeed.
John Kearney's film Once was a surprise sensation in 2007. And it was quite a small scale kind of almost like indie film. Is that a fair comment? Glenn Hansard and Markita Igalova, who actually starred in it as the guy and the girl.
They wrote the music and
they
lyrics.
wrote the music and the lyrics, and their chemistry was tangible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And their talent, like, just totally shone
And I
through.
think
From
they did end up having a relationship.
Did they?
Yeah.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Love the catchy tunes and insightful discussions on Musical Lyrical Lingo? Why would you not? Now you can reap your fandom. Ooh, we've got fans. And show off your love of all things musical theatre with our exclusive merchandise. Ooh.
From comfy tees,
T-shirts,
mugs to stylish tote bags, we have something for every fan. Our designs are inspired by the show's iconic themes.
because we are so iconic.
And featured playful quotes, alpha, and graphics that will have you humming along
I will never work again.
wherever you go.
So head over to our merch store now and start shopping. Spend your money, people. And don't forget to share your pics on our social media using hashtag podcast Musical Lyrical Lingo merch. We love to see our fans rocking our gear.
Yes, we do. Happy shopping. Yeah, they did.
That happens
Because
to the
there was
best of us.
another, there was an interview I watched of Glenn and him saying, you know, the relationship, it was great, or sorry, a great relationship, or it was, you know, like, but there was still no sadness or anything there, because again, everything that this musical is about is a time period.
It's quite their relationship in the musical is very pressure cookery.
Yes.
To me.
Yeah.
That if you're portraying these characters, it's not surprising that maybe it became more of a reality than interesting.
So the film did win an Oscar for the song Falling Slowly.
Beautiful song.
And then the musical, so the film was 2007 and the musical was 2012.
That's right, yeah. It did like a New York Theatre Workshop in 2011 before.
Mm-hmm. And it won, or sorry, it was nominated for 8 Tony Awards.
Yes,
including
that's
Best
right.
Musical.
Best Musical, Best Actor and Best Book.
Yep.
It also won the 2012 Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Musical and then the 2013, as you said, Grammy Award. Oh no, actually it won the 2013 Grammy Award for Best Musical Theatre Album. As well as then obviously winning the Oscar for Falling Slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there you go.
So yeah, it started in Broadway and then moved to the West End. Which I always
mind a wee bit.
I always find weird, especially if something's set in Dublin. It's like, well, surely it should just open in the West End or open in Ireland. But yeah, it went to Broadway. I don't know.
There's been a few musicals where we've gone, it opened in Broadway.
Yeah,
the
I know.
Americans opened. Like it's an American musical, even though like the plot or where it's actually set is much closer to, you know, the UK or as you say, Ireland or whatever. Yeah.
So Guy and Girl, the main characters are called Guy and Girl. And she has a broken vacuum. She meets him in the street, isn't that right? He's just had a breakup.
Indeed.
And he is on the verge of giving up music because he's so heartbroken. And music really isn't doing it for him. It's not giving him a career and it's not giving him any joy either. And she is actually moved by his music. Mm-hmm. And she convinces him then to fix this broken vacuum.
Yeah.
But herself, she is a talented pianist.
Yeah.
And in return then she offers to record a demo with him and help his passion and his music career like sort of thrive, and then because of this situation, this is where this deep connection is created. And then, as you said, this pressure cooker sort of
intense relationship.
But it's through the music that they're able to share personal stories, share their journeys, talk about their struggles. But it's all like she's an immigrant and he's from Dublin, and they are able to let the music be their language of communication. Yeah. And then this mutual friendship turns to love, but not with complications. Because is she married? Is that in the film?
I can't remember if she's married. I don't
married
overly
but separated,
remember
I think.
much about the film because I wasn't that fussed.
Okay.
But then I think I wasn't that fussed because I didn't know of it as a movie until I'd seen the musical.
Right. Okay.
And I think it was hard to go that way.
Musical
do you know
movie.
what I mean? Seeing the musical first and then the movie. I think I'd have enjoyed it as a movie if I hadn't then seen the stage work or the stage adaptation, which was directed by John Tiffany and Edna Walsh. I suppose we should just throw that out there, that it was their adaptation that they did from the film onto stage. But they did keep it that small and intimate feeling, didn't they? And then Bob Crawley's scenic design and Natasha Kratz's lighting, Tiffany's staged production kind of doubled down on the movie's minimalism. Yeah. And made it a much smaller stage, small scale staging, all set in a Dublin bar. And all of the actors stayed on the stage the whole way through, and you could also have a drink on the bar on the stage.
All very progressive.
All very progressive. At the beginning of the show and then at the intermission as well. I had said at the beginning about it was kind of a new take on musicals, and I think that's mainly because it kind of brought in this idea of actor musicians. So there wasn't a band for the staged adaptation. The actors played the music themselves, which obviously for the guy who was a busker and the girl who played the piano, that all fitted in perfectly. But everybody else then played numerous different, musical instruments, accordions and guitars and all the rest of it. And I think that was the first time that really had kind of...
Well, it was the first time as well that I suppose it was that type. Well, no. We know it's not, but it's the first time it was maybe highlighted to people that this could happen at the same time in a musical.
That's right.
That there didn't need to be an orchestra or a band. Actually, your actor, musicians, can be both.
Yeah. Which I just think adds more to the intimacy of it, and that kind of small scale thing of it.
You're watching a real production of talent, aren't you?
1000%, yeah. Then, so obviously, as we said, it opened in Dublin. It then did, following a limited engagement at Dublin's Gaiety Theatre from February to March 2013. The show then made its West End debut in the Phoenix Theatre. I like that theatre.
Do you? What have you seen in that theatre?
I've seen once in that theatre, and then I've seen Come From Away in that theatre.
Oh, well, they're both
and I've
similar.
seen something else, and I can't remember what was the third one. There's definitely another one I've seen in the Phoenix Theatre.
Was it another small, intimate sort of?
Yeah, I think so. And I think the Phoenix Theatre is now where the Stranger Things play is.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So it had its opening night, and not Stranger Things, once.
Yeah.
Had its West End opening night on the 9th of April 2013. And since then, it's really been across the globe. It's been in Ireland numerous times. Melbourne, Seoul, Toronto, Buenos Aires. What's new? Buenos Aires.
Yep.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah, the musical ends, though, doesn't it, on a poignant note?
Does it? I can't remember.
It does. Highlighting, this is what I've written, right? Highlighting the transformative power of music and the fleeting nature of their connection.
Well, that actually, okay, interesting. That's one of my musical lyrical lingos.
Yeah, so through their parting ways, they encounter... Oh, sorry. Though they part ways, their encounter impacted their lives, leaving a mark.
Well, that was my first musical lyrical, like that idea of the healing power of music.
Yes.
Because initially, guy and girl's attraction, notwithstanding what brings them most closely together in the early stages of the story, it's that both in the film and the stage play, it's their collaboration on recording what they hope may win back Marcella, who is the guy's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
As you've said, you know,
Yeah.
he's just broken up. But it's kind of actually before they then, this attraction towards each other grows and builds and manifests. The reason there is a connection between the two is because they're through the power of music, they're working together to try and heal a sadness there, which is his, you know, breakup and things like that.
Yeah, so that was exactly my number one musical lyrical lingo, was that healing power of music. And I mention it whenever we were talking to our guests. You know, this musical really talks about how some people are in your life for a short period of time but are very impactful. There's people there for a reason and a season, and sometimes it's short and sometimes it's long.
Yeah.
But it's all to do with healing and creating you as a person and your life experiences. And
Because I knew you.
yeah.
I have been changed for good.
It was just a different musical.
I swear, honestly, you were just talking there and I was like, she's talking about Elphaba and Glinda.
I know.
Yeah.
I also learned that fleeting relationships can also be impactful relationships, and live and chase your dreams.
Yeah, very good. I think with this one, there wasn't a huge amount of learning that I learned from the lyrics. It was kind of more of a encompassing kind of like
what the musical taught you. Yeah.
I did learn about banding though.
About what?
Banding.
What's Bandon?
Bandon in County Cork.
County Cork, sorry.
In the country green in a lonesome town called Bandon.
Bandon.
And one of the characters left his heart in Bandon.
Yeah.
So I did do a wee bit of research into the Bandon.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, let us know.
Actually think the Irish Tourist Board are going to give me a call because I'm about to sell Bandon for all people out there.
Okay, I'm
Listeners,
intrigued.
go to Bandon and listen to the one soundtrack while you're there. He sings, "Oh, he walked over hills and he skipped over rivers, all the time his hand in his love, but his love's not here and never close at hand, his heart's abandoned in Bandon." Now, population of 6,957 people. It'll take you 4 hours and 53 minutes in car to get there.
Where from?
From here.
Oh, from here, right.
Shall we go?
Can we stop along the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please stop.
Okay.
It was, in its day, a leading industrial centre.
Oh, okay.
First as a cotton mill town. Now, you could say that about most Irish towns, to be quite honest with you. And then for a time as the whiskey capital of Ireland.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
What about Bushmills?
Being home to the world famous Almonds distillery.
Never heard of them. That's
Aren't
shocking.
you glad? I told you. Irish Tourist Board will be on the phone to me. Bandon is the southernmost walled town.
Ooh.
And you can still see the remains of the wall standing today.
It actually does sound like a nice wee trip.
Presently,
Right.
Bandon is an excellent shopping town, boasting a very wide range of shops. It is well known throughout County Cork for the quality of its fashion and food outlets.
Let's go.
5-star.
Let's go. You sold it to me.
Thank you.
I think I want to go to Bandon.
I was like, where the heck is Bandon? And I just, Google's a great device.
Well, I seen that it was in County Cork or County Clare from County Cork. Is that it? Yeah.
Aye.
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's down there. Very good.
There you go. Yeah, that's all I need to know. 4 hours, 53 minutes. I'll pass.
Goodness, no. I think you have sold it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go.
If the Irish Tourist Board are looking for any, what would my job be? What would my title be?
Promoter.
Promoter. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a ring.
Yeah. Okay.
The number's
Love it.
I couldn't be coping with all the fans for me,
Another thing I learned is
Just totally ignore me.
Moving on. Human emotions and connections can happen despite your background.
My gosh, you're going deep with this one, aren't you?
No, but I mean, she's Czech
Yeah.
and he's Irish.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And they have that. Well, I've mentioned it a lot, but I mean, unless you've listened to once or seen the film or seen the musical, I don't think you understand how impactful the music is in these people's lives.
Yes, 1,000%.
So the music and the movement and the staging, you know, particularly for the stage version, is so breathtaking, and you are watching that movement and realizing why they're moving things in a direction to represent something else. But yeah, their connection is all through music.
The music also is breathtaking to the audience, and none more so than Gold. And he sings in Gold. I'm walking up. I want to sing it, but I don't actually feel I've got a good enough voice to sing the songs of once.
Okay.
I think you need to have that real busker kind of like beautiful Irish lilty voice. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I just don't. I think I'd let myself down. So I'm refraining unless I was to sing. What is that? Hoover sucker boy. I could do that. You do that one. Number, but not any others. But in Gold, he sings, "I'm walking on moonbeams, and I was born with a silver spoon." You see what I mean? It just doesn't do it. And that "born with a silver spoon" is kind of cool. If you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, Lauren, what does that mean? You
haven't had to work for much.
Yeah,
You've been given it all.
You have high social position.
Yeah.
Probably you've been rich from birth.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
I was born with a wooden spoon. No, I'm joking.
That's
Very
lies.
fortunate.
Your
Very
parents
fortunate.
would not be appreciative of that.
I'm joking.
In the Moon, did that teach you anything?
In the Moon
Song.
I know, I can't remember how it goes.
The first 4 lines are telling you about heroin and how to take it.
And because
there
you go.
The gauze.
That shows you how naive I am. I didn't even know that was the thing.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go.
Okay. The Hill, another song, they sing, "And I know that in the morning I'll have to let you go, and you'll be just a man once I used to know."
I know.
And that captures the whole story of Once in 4 simple lines.
I know.
Subtly, but heartbreakingly, dropping in the word once.
Yeah.
And it is the only time that word is used in the whole story.
Oh.
Kind of cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. The language is very simple but effective.
Yeah, 1,000%.
There is, as we said, that she's a Czech immigrant. So there is a song called "Now." Our lovely guests were able just to rhyme it off
their tongue of
their tongue, and it sounded beautiful. And I was like, I need to remember how they've said that, because I knew that we were going, and I haven't.
And you're not going to ask me because I wouldn't have a clue.
See, I wanted to say a pada, but they were like el pada.
Yeah, EJPADA.
Yeah. So this is a Slovak folk song, and the words mean it is in Czech.
Yeah.
And it's the dew is falling. My eyes are tired. Yours are tired too. On the leaves are falling. Great, my lover, 1,000 times, my little grey dove, and say that I'll never return.
It sounds like a wee folk song, doesn't it?
Yeah. But again, I thought that was really similar to The Hill, where you've been here 4,000 times and then you're going to go and you're not going to come back.
Yeah.
And it's all about this relationship. You were here for a while, and once you're gone, you're gone.
That's it. Yeah.
Just told in a different language.
That's it. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you seen it on stage?
Not on stage,
okay,
no.
But you've watched the film. Yeah.
I've seen snippets and people doing sections of it on different like Olivier's and things like that.
Yeah, I actually remember the performance that was done in the Tonys of Gold and going, oh, that's really
me too. I remember that
and
as well.
Really cool.
Yeah, and I think that was the first time I was aware of it.
Yeah.
I was like, I like what they're doing.
Yeah.
I like this sitting and the audience not really understanding what's going on, but feeling like you need to lean closer and get closer to understand
Well, that was it. To get the context of the show from that number in isolation is impossible, but it was sensational in the what it stirred up. Do you know what I mean? In you, it was like powerful and you know, they were all playing their own instruments and there was chair choreography and I was just like, this is really impressive and quite strong and impactful. But you wouldn't be able to work out what the story was from it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that was my first dalliance with it. I was like, oh, that was as musical numbers go. That was amazing. Like, if we ever do like a poll or like an episode on, you know, our top 10 musical, you know, performance numbers, like that would definitely be in my top 5.
That should be an episode.
Yeah, we should do a wee episode like that. But do you know what I mean? It's one of those things that you watch and you remember seeing it for the first time. Do you know what I mean?
Like and Cynthia Erivo's final performance.
Of I'm
Here.
Purple, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just really cool. Also, you know, I went, oh, you can use chairs and things like that. And
oh, my choreography.
That's very clever.
Repertoire has expanded.
Yeah. And then I did see it in London. The original, you know, the first time I was there, I think they just had their first ever cast change type thing. But
would you have seen then or one of our guests without realising who that wouldn't have known them then?
No, because I met that guest for coffee beforehand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's quite funny because she came, I think I met in between a matinee and an evening performance. I was going to the evening performance and she came and met me in like a wee cafe down in Soho, and she very noddily had come out of the, you know, of the theatre. Her hair obviously was still done in character, but she had her mic still there. She'd just like clipped it from her pack, but you know, it was still with it, you know, woven through her hair and stuff. And so that was the first time I met our guest, one of our guests. I love how we're talking
as if like it's super secretive.
It's all like incognito, isn't it? It's like, ooh, yeah.
Okay,
hopefully it's building your suspense for next week. So obviously I then went to see it. That whole idea of going up onto stage before the show even starts to get a drink at the bar, and like they had a pre-show where like they were on the stage like doing, you know, almost like a lock-in that you would maybe get in traditional Irish bars, you know, where the traditional Irish music and the traditional Czech music were being played on stage whilst you were on stage. It was just really cool. And then it was the first time I'd experienced an actor muso show where the actors provided their own music. There wasn't a band, you know, they were the band, they were the storytellers, which was really cool and exciting. And it almost, to me, seemed a bit of a coincidence, because after I saw that, then in the following 5 to 6 years, there were more and more actor musician musicals that cropped up, or a revival of a show took on an actor musician slant to it. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, oh, that's really interesting. It's almost like you although actor musicians, musician shows were a thing in the past, it hadn't then been done for many years. And then I think Once was one of the first to, you know, revitalize it, and then everybody, it felt to me like everyone was like then jumping on the bandwagon, like, oh, if we're doing a new show, you know, if we're doing a musical,
I have a good idea
to make it an actor musician show, you know. But anyway, so those were my connections to it.
I have one more thing that I learned.
Oh, did you? I'm so sorry.
No,
I just jumped in there.
Just in Chandler's Wife. It gives you great advice on how to stop your wife from cheating.
And what is that advice?
Tie her to the bed.
Oh.
Or make sure you satisfy her before you leave.
Oh.
Or keep them on the floor.
Oh, jeez, right. I'm not so sure our listeners should be listening to that advice.
I mean, well, that was...
I think if you follow that advice, you might get yourself into trouble, folks.
Yeah.
What are you putting out on the airwaves?
I know, but that like, gives you some advice. I mean, you just don't know.
And that's coming from you as a wife?
I'm just telling you that's what it was,
Right.
It was saying.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Do you have any standing ovations? Is there any part of the film that you remembered?
No, I just love that song, Falling Slowly.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's not very long.
No.
There's not very many words in it.
Hence, it then appeared on every musical theatre performer's albums for the next 7 years.
Yeah, there's that.
Anyone who, brought out a musical theatre album, Falling Slowly was on the album, wasn't it? It was like, oh, it's a new favourite, folks.
But I think there is. I can see why it won an Oscar.
Yeah.
There is real magic in that song. So it's very cliche, but I do really like that song.
Yeah. Me too. I absolutely love it. One of my standing ovations, or the things I most remember, I've already mentioned, is just gold for the powerfulness of that number. Really impactful. But I think the music in general is beautiful. The ballads are unbelievable. Like the likes of Leave, Falling Slowly, Say It To Me Now. Sleeping's also a really beautiful one. And I love When Your Mind's Made Up. And I think that was the song that he sung. And obviously the set was a bar and it didn't change, as we've mentioned. But there must have been like a raised platform or level above it that almost looked like a hill at one point, depending on the lighting. Or was there like a brick wall behind it? But he appeared up there. And it was only once, I think it was used. And I think it was for that number, When Your Mind's Made Up. Because he also kind of screamy shouts bits of it.
Oh,
and it's like, I mean, I cried my way through this musical. Well, certainly the latter half of it, when you realised kind of they weren't going to end up together forever.
Yeah.
And it made me cry. It did make me weep a wee bit. I'm a wee bit weepy.
It's a bit like that TV show Normal People. And the
Oh
book.
my goodness. I cried my way through that too.
But it's the same.
That's fabulous casting.
Sorry?
Bring Once back.
Oh, and have...
cast, what's his name?
Daisy Edgar Jones and...
maybe not her, because she's not Czech. But you could cast...
A beautiful man.
Why do I not remember his name? He's amazing.
Well, I remember his face.
And I remember Donal. He was called Donal and normal Paul Mescal.
There we go.
Because he can sing.
Yeah.
Have you seen the interviews where they then show the clip of him doing Phantom of the Opera? And I'm like, oh my gosh, he can sing as well.
Yeah, that would be good,
I think he's interested in movie musical.
Well, him and Ben Platt and I can't remember the girl, but they have been cast in Merrily We Roll Along.
Oh, have they?
So, but this isn't going to be out for another 10 years.
And I didn't realise that's what you were going to say, because he's also been cast in the Beatle movie that they're doing.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I thought that was all a rumour.
No, I don't think so.
All right, okay. Well then, yeah.
Yeah. But wouldn't that be fantastic? A remake of Once and cast him as the guy?
We're putting it out there. It's going to be announced next week that that's what's
1,000%. Because all those producers out there listen to every word we say and act upon it.
Here, did you see, just a wee tangent there, ALW's reaction to the Jellicoe Ball?
No.
He doesn't look impressed.
Oh, does he not?
No, he's not
This is the new,
concert version.
Yeah, and it's not ballroom's the wrong... But it's kind of the voguing ballroom scene, isn't it? That they've kind of set it in so they don't look like cats at all.
No.
I would love to see it though, just out of interest. I mean, let's be honest, we've talked about it when we spoke about Cats. Cats was it was written when somebody was on LSD.
Yeah.
So the fact that they don't look like cats and they're doing cats, it probably isn't going to be as jarring as you would think.
No, it probably works.
Yeah, but
I think it's quite disco-esque, 70s.
Yeah.
The costumes do look actually, I could accept that rather than the film.
Andre DeShields looks amazing in his costume.
Class.
He's playing old Deuteronomy, isn't he? His wig alone is like sensational.
But yes, LW just isn't.
Not sure.
But then, I mean, maybe he is in the inside.
You remember back to those days, and we've mentioned it plenty of times on the pod, you know, those like TV programs that he did, the search for this, that or the other. Like his face didn't look impressed most of the time on those either.
But no, but he was very animated on that. He was very
One is not impressed.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that was a little.
Listen, I think we have come up with an absolute gem of an idea. Paul Mescal, The Guy, Once revival.
There we go. Sorted.
When your mind's made up. Yeah, but anyway, sung that on that top kind of platform and just was like, wow, that was impressive too.
Love it.
Yeah, there we go. I did enjoy my beer on the stage.
Did you? Did you feel wrong though? Like, was everything in you going
bizarre?
I shouldn't be doing this.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm growling because I think I'm hungry. That was really weird. It like kind of went from my belly up through my esophagus and was trying to come out my mouth, and I was like trying to put it back in.
But yes, was it one of those having to retrain your brain?
I'm sorry, that's never happened to me before. That was a new
Fine.
experience.
Stop talking about it.
Okay. Did I have to retrain my brain? Yeah, I was just concerned about spillages.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, nobody drop your beer.
Stage manager's going to shout at me
Nobody drop
here.
your beer, please. Okay, I think we need to all go and take our seats now. Like, I was almost front of house for them. Okay, everybody, it's time to take your beer off the... Go and sit down in your seats.
You were ushering your best usher.
Quite the immersive experience, to be fair.
Wow.
Oh, don't you just love theatre?
Yeah. And Once is around and constantly around.
Yeah, that's it. It reminds me of one of those musicals that is somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
Always. And it's not like you wouldn't have thought like, you know, a musical about a bus and, you know, an Irish busker meeting, you know, a Czech girl and them singing songs together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would like have this real, you know.
But I think it's that because it's like a human relationship and maybe people can connect to it. Maybe people always have that one that got away or that one relationship that just didn't work out, whether it's a friendship or a romantic one or...
Yeah.
And maybe because it's just so beautiful, like the movement,
perhaps.
everything about it is just...
That's true, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if you want to hear more about Once from people who really know what they're talking about, not us two chancers, do listen in next week for our part 1 of our 2-part interview with our lovely guests. I want to say their names.
No, don't.
So, is that us for this week?
That's us for this week.
I mean, I don't think there's any point blabbing on about it when
we
we've
could
got the
blab on
experts
more about
next
us,
week.
but no.
Nobody wants to hear that.
No.
But what you can do is use. I just said use. I
dare
hate
you.
people saying use. What you can do is go and give us a wee like, a wee share, and a wee review.
Perfect. You do that now.
Bossy bits over here. I mean, guys, take your time. We know it's busy. You, of all people, should know how busy life is. Take your time, but do it. We would really appreciate it. Until next week, then.
Bye.
Bye.